What's up guys? Today I'm gonna show Tiff how to make spare ribs, or at least how I make spare ribs.
Yay! It's the first time we're ever cooking together, ever.
Ever. She never cooks with me.
I hate the kitchen.
So we're gonna use this video as a way for her. I'm gonna initiate her into the kitchen and pretty soon she's gonna make me spare ribs.
Wouldn't that be the dream?
Yes. Here I got 2 slabs of spare ribs. And they've both been washed and haven't trimmed them yet. So I'm gonna show you guys how I trim them. Essentially, this is a spare rib, not to get mixed up with the baby back rib.
What's the baby back rib?
There's 2 parts of the rib, I guess. So the spare rib is the front side, so it's much like the bone is straight. The baby back rib is on the side over here where it curves more, and so that's called the baby back rib, and that's why it's like.
Why is it baby back?
I don't know why it's called baby back. All right, so I'm gonna trim this St. Louis style, which is pretty much trimming it down to just the rib. So there's all this excess meat over here, this thingy-majiggy here.
You don't want that meat?
Essentially what people do is they cut this all off over here, and they use this for other things, yeah.
You can't just grill it and eat it like that?
You can, I do that. I usually keep this stuff and I throw it on my bottom section of my smoker, and I use it as just like a little snack while I wait for the ribs, because this stuff...
Oh, you just snack on it like that? Well, like once it's cooked?
Oh no, yeah, once it's cooked, so like the ribs...
I don't know why I pictured you eating it
raw.
You just play with it all the time.
It's so fun.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna play with it too. I'm gonna wash my hands and I'm gonna put my hair up. Ew.
So we're gonna cut off this piece too, because it's not part of the rib. This is the actual rib. And so all this right here, beyond that is called the rib tip. And that's a whole different dish right there.
I've heard of rib tips.
Yeah, if you go to a barbecue restaurant, yeah, they have rib tips.
Look at those muscles though, you see them?
Stupid. So all this stuff, stew or rib tips. You wanna play with that?
Yeah, this is my job on this cooking video.
So this is the actual rib. And this is what you usually see now. When I cook it, this is the shape.
It looks so pretty now.
You know, well, it's gonna get prettier and we're gonna trim it a little bit more. So I'm gonna feel for the bones, and basically I'm looking for the last rib that's gonna be worth eating. So imagine if you're a person, and obviously you're a person. Imagine if you're a person.
If you're a person what?
If you're a person eating ribs,
there we go.
Obviously you don't want the tiny one, right? The tiny one doesn't give you a whole lot of meat to eat.
True.
So I'm gonna look for the small one. Starting with this one, I think we're gonna just cut it off, because this doesn't give anyone any satisfaction in terms of eating.
Really? Because there's a lot of meat on these. You don't want to keep it?
No, one, it cooks faster too. Yeah, so you have to also consider the cooking time. So I'm just gonna get rid of starting this one. Goodbye.
And now the whole rack can fit on their tiny cutting board.
Now it's manageable, yeah. All right, to finish trimming it, I'm gonna get rid of some excess fat.
Can I do it?
Yeah, get rid of that fat right there. Don't cut too much off though, because you want to keep a little bit of fat, because the fat's going to keep it moist and keep it tender.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
You look like you know what you're doing though.
Really?
You're just trimming away.
I think it's my OCD-ness that I just want to get rid of all the fat. I'm like, it's not clean, I need to clean it.
Just know fat is flavor though, so you don't want to get rid of the flavor.
Okay, fine, I'll stop there.
Alright, I'm going to flip it over. Now on this side, we have this thing called membrane. But the reason why we're gonna get the membrane off is because we want our dry rub, our seasonings, to get into the meat, and this membrane gets in the way of that. Now I kind of started it here. What you want to do is use your knife, and you just want to dig underneath that membrane and just kind of raise it up.
This is hard.
It's hard, yeah. This is kind of like the tricky part. So this membrane is very slippery, and it just slips right off if you're trying to rip it off with your hands. So common knowledge is to use paper towels, grab it with the paper towel, and you have way better traction. You just rip it right off.
Oh, cool, it just comes right off. Ew.
It's like opening a package. It's like plastic.
Let me see.
You wanna play with that now?
Ew.
So St. Louis cut right here. We're gonna go ahead and do the other one. We have 2 racks. We got our 2 slabs of St. Louis style cut spare ribs, and we're gonna put some dry rub on it. We're gonna use yellow mustard, and what the yellow mustard is for is not so much for the flavor, but more as a binder for the dry rub.
A binder?
Yeah, so it's the glue.
Oh, the glue. Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna pour it on there, we're gonna rub it in, so there's a coating of mustard so that when we pour the dry rub on there, the dry rub's gonna stick more to the meat.
That makes sense. So I just slap it
like a hot dog, yeah.
Cool. So throw it on here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's transfer it into.
Here, grab it. That's not a safe way to grab a knife, but okay.
So you got the ribs transferred over into our pan, yeah. And now the moment we've all been waiting for.
What is that moment?
So we've all heard of Casey Masterpiece barbecue sauce, but you've never heard of Casey's Real Masterpiece dry rub.
Oh, look at that! Some professionally made packaging skills. You see that right there? Perfect.
All right, so this is my own little concoction of a dry rub.
So do I just sprinkle it up in there?
Yeah, just sprinkle it.
Like how much? Tell me when it's
a lot. You can sprinkle so much on there. One, it's very low salt content in my dry rub, so you can just pack it on there. But then you also pack on a lot of spices in there, so it's nice and flavorful. But you literally want it to be all this color.
Oh, my arm is getting tired.
Yeah, this dry rub recipe, it took me 2 years to get it to where I want it to be.
I know, I remember every time you used to make your ribs, you'd be like, it didn't work. It's not, this one wasn't good. And then I'd see you in the kitchen, like trying to like contemplate how to make it like perfect. And I'm so happy you finally got it.
We are now done with the prep. We are gonna go outside, start the grill. So we're outside now. Before we throw the ribs on the smoker though, I'm gonna just mention this thing right here. So this is a thermometer, and for the smoker, you want it ideally in the grayed out area where it actually says smoke. So anything below the white, before the smoke area, no good. Anything above the gray area, no good. And ideally, you want a third-party thermometer that's like pretty good quality one, because some of these aren't that accurate, the ones that come with the actual smoker. But I don't care. I'm lazy like that. But essentially, for ribs, you want like in between 220 to 235. But you don't want it any higher than that, because then it'll start cooking too fast. And with barbecue, you want it to be low and slow. All right, so let's throw the ribs on. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's magical.
Cool.
You feel like a witch?
Yeah. It's like a witch's
cauldron.
I thought you called me a bitch for a second. I'm like, wait. You feel like a bitch? Okay, let's throw them on.
All right, cool. Here we go.
Do you try to just put it near the center, or does it matter?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's really well even. So in this smoker, I'm burning some apple wood and some pecan wood. And
that sounds good.
Yeah.
Like to eat without the wood, apple and pecan. It just sounds good.
They make for good pies, huh? And then there's also a water pan in there that's gonna help hydrate the meat and keep everything moist inside. That's about it. I mean, all the hard work has been done. We're gonna let it sit here for an hour, come back and check on it, and
stay tuned.
Oh.
It's okay.
Smoke.
Let's do it. I want to eat.
We still got like 5 hours to wait. All right, it's been 1 hour, and we're gonna check in on the ribs to see how they're going. I actually haven't peeked yet. There's a popular saying where it goes, if you're looking, you ain't cooking.
And the reason why they have that popular saying is because if you look and then you let the heat come out and then you can't let it cook, is it because of that?
Yeah.
The reason why I know that is because when I was in high school, I had this like phase where I was really into baking.
All right, here we go. Let's find out what we got. Airplane. Nice.
Ooh, they're nice and crispy already.
All right, so it's starting.
Airplane's digging it too. So what's this thing you gave me?
This is pineapple juice.
Ooh.
Tastes like pineapple juice.
It's good. Refreshing.
All right, so the dry rub that I put on here has no sugar whatsoever. I know a lot of dry rubs, they like to put brown sugar in it to give it a little sweetness. But for me, I like to kind of keep it savory first and then slowly implement some sugars now. So with the spritz, we're gonna introduce some moisture and some sugars. Coat it. Yeah, make it nice and glossy for us.
Drench it in pineapple juice, huh?
Because you don't want the outside to dry out. That's pretty much the reason.
And that's it?
About it, yeah. Our first hour looks pretty good. Each hour we'll come back with a spray bottle and we'll give it a nice little back into the darkness you go. All right, another hour has passed and we're gonna spray it again.
Yeah.
Oh, this is looking pretty good.
Good.
We can go back to sleeping now.
We weren't sleeping, I'm working.
So it's been 3 hours, we've been waiting. We've been working while we've been waiting. We've been editing videos and stuff. So, moment of truth. This is what it looks like after 3 hours.
Ooh, they're nice and brown.
I know, got that nice tint on it. We're gonna transfer these over into here now. We're gonna take it off the smoker now because we're gonna put it in that Texas Crunch, that wrap. We're gonna add some sugar, some brown sugar and some honey into it. And we're gonna really just kind of finalize it with all the flavors that we've had in the dry rub and in the sugars now. Cool. And I guess another thing too is if you're wondering why we're doing 3 hours here and they're gonna wrap it up, this is called the 3-2-1 method. And the 3-2-1 method is pretty much 3 hours on a smoker, 2 hours in a wrap, and then 1 hour additional on top of that, unwrapped and on the smoker. All right, so first things first. Basically, the dry rub was all salt and all spices, but we want to add that sweetness to it to give it that barbecue flavor. So what we're gonna do is, open for honey. What we're gonna do is create our hot dog mustard pattern, like that. And roughly ballpark the lid. Oh man, I got it all over the lid. Oh. And then we're gonna take our brown sugar, and we're gonna drizzle some of it on here. I'm gonna start on that end.
Yeah. Washed our hands. I can crumble it up. Yeah. How much would you say is here? Like a cup? 2 cups?
I have no idea. I eyeball everything for the most part.
You're a true chef.
That looks about good for today. Today I'm feeling this much.
Nice.
Alright, so we're gonna take our rib. So what we're gonna do is we wanna put it meat side down.
Not where you cut the membrane, but the other
Not
side.
the membrane side,
Okay.
but the side where all the fat was. We're gonna put it down meat side. And the reason for that is we're actually gonna cook it upside down like this from here on out because we want all the remaining fat to melt into the meat side so it's nice and juicy and tender. And also we want all the sugars from the honey and the brown sugar to kind of stew, and basically we're braising the rest of the ribs for the remainder of the cook. While that's facing down, we're also gonna dress the back side with more honey and more brown sugar.
I'll do the honey.
Hey, and I'll do the sugar.
Oh, this is really fun.
Now what's next is we're doing the actual wrap. I've seen a whole bunch of different people in videos do it differently, but I'm just gonna do it like this because this is how my brain works. Pull it up that way and pull it up this way.
Hey!
Huh?
You gotta do it neatly right there. You gotta cover it. That was my OCD news kicking in because I saw it crumbling up. I'm like, no, it's not perfect.
OCD for the win. All right, it's like that, and we're gonna put it meat side down, like just like that. So we're gonna keep the folds on the top side. I feel like Chipotle workers would do very well in this part.
I know, every time I see them handle the foil, I'm like, damn, how do you do it so fast?
They always like struggle with it at first, and then once they get it like manhandle the burrito, it's like, I gotcha, and then they like finish it. All right, so we're gonna take these bad boys outside now, and we are gonna throw them on the grill, and basically they're gonna braise in their own juices for 2 hours, but then for me, sometimes 1.5 should do the job too. So I don't know, we'll kind of ballpark it. All right, it's been 1.5 hours.
Nice and juicy.
It's pretty hot.
Wow, it's like all crispy and black. Is that a good thing?
Yes.
Okay.
It's barbecue. So what you're seeing as the crispy part, that is known as the bark.
Whoa.
And this is what we're looking at. This is what I want to show you. the pullback on the bones. That's how you know it's ready.
Oh, because it like shrinks.
Before, yeah, it shrinks. Before it would cover up the entire bone, but when it starts pulling back, that's when you know it is ready. Pretty much you can eat it now if you really wanted to.
So we're gonna put it for 1 more hour?
I'm gonna put it back, and not a whole hour, because this is done. Like since you can eat this is gorgeous. I think we'll put it back on there for about 30 minutes, unwrapped, so that way we can kind of just tighten up the meat a little bit more, so it's gonna have a good bite to it too.
Cool. You better not touch it again. Go wash your hands.
I won't.
You're nasty.
Alright, it has been 30 minutes and it is time to finally do what we've all been waiting for. And that is to finally cut one open and see what it looks like on the inside. Alright, this is what we got. This is our rib. On the outside, it looks like poop, but that's called the bark. Kind of like a tree bark, yeah. And we're gonna cut it upside down. I don't know, I just kind of want to split it and see what it looks like on the inside. And so the smoke ring is pretty much on the edges of the rib. That's like a clear indication as to how much smoke got into the meat and how much smoke flavor will be in the meat when you eat it.
I'm gonna try these babies. They're so soft. And so.
It pulls right off the bone too.
Yeah, it falls right apart. We did a good job.
That's a better.
High five. I said we.
We did do a good job.
Hey, it helped. If I become your sous chef.
You are my sous chef.
Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up because it was our first cooking video. Give a big thumbs up for Chef Casey over here. Casey Masterpiece. And also comment down below what other recipes you'd like to see us create for you guys. Alright guys, so see you next time.